Our world scientists say that sleep is the single most effective thing we could do to reset our brain and body health each day. It is linked to our moods, our productivity, and even happiness. The problem for me was that outside of a few obvious reasons like just not getting enough sleep, I never knew why there was days I was sleeping well and why there were days I wasn't. So when Ultrahuman reached out to me to review their smart ring, Ultrahuman Ring Air, I thought this would be the perfect test to see if the data I got about my sleep and recovery would even help, and if investing in a sleep tracker like the Ultrahuman Ring Air is even worth it. Starting off with the initial experience of receiving the ring, the first order that was shipped to me was the sizing kit. Upon opening the sizing kit, you get a sizing guide that tells you how to test the rings out, and on the right, you get samples of the ring colors. I thought this was a nice touch because seeing the colors in person make it easy to finalize your color choice, as you get a chance to choose your color again before receiving the ring. 5 colors you can choose from are raw titanium, astro black, matte gray, space silver, and bionic gold. I went with the raw titanium since I own other titanium colored products and similar looking jewelry that will match with it. Then under that, you get 10 different ring sizes to test out, from a size 5 to 14. Ultrahuman tells you to try the ring out on your index, middle, and ring finger to see which fits most snug without any gaps. And then it tells you to test out the ring for at least 2 nights to ensure the bump on the ring, where the sensor will be, does not easily rotate and skew the data. I was between sizes 9 and 10, so I ended up doing this test for both of them and ended up going with the 10 since I don't like my rings to be too tight. Then once I chose my ring and color, I went back to the email I got that had a link to confirm my ring size. You could also just download the Ultrahuman app and log in using the same email you used to purchase the ring. Then you simply input the ring size of your choice, and that is it. And if you want to get your color changed after the sizing test, Ultrahuman says you can inform their team via the app, email, or socials to get that done. And only after a couple of days, I ended up receiving the ring itself. Packaging is very premium and feels almost Apple-esque. Upon opening, you see the ring in all its glory. And here again is the titanium color. And honestly, I think it looks very, very aesthetic. And what is cool is you can see all the tech inside the ring. To me, it's crazy that we can fit this amount of tech in the small form factor of a ring. Then underneath, you get your basic paperwork and manuals, and you get a nice black braided USB-C cable. You get some Ultrahuman stickers, and then you get this tiny charging stand for the ring, and on the back, it shows the size of the ring it charges. And since the ring is not perfectly round, you do need to place the ring a specific way so that the bump can fit on it. As for the size of the ring, it is definitely bulkier than my wedding band, but it is extremely, extremely light. Depending on the size of the ring, Ultrahuman says it weighs anywhere from 2.4 to 3.6 grams, which is similar to a US penny. To set up the ring, you simply download the Ultrahuman app. Once in, you will be asked to connect the ring and log in. Once logged in, hit connect again, and it will ask you to place the ring on the charger to connect. Once connected, it will say start your journey, and to pair it with Bluetooth, it will do its thing and then ask you a couple questions about your body. Or you can import this information from Apple Health. It will ask you for your weight, your height, gender, and activity level, and then that's it. You are now connected. Pretty easy process. Now fast forwarding, I've been using this ring for a little bit over a month now, and there's a lot to talk about. From the loads of data this thing tracks, to what I recommend using the ring for, and to what I recommend not using it for. But before I get into that, if you guys want to keep up with the latest tech, or if you guys are interested in seeing a comparison video where I compare this ring to an Apple Watch to a smart bed, then please hit that subscribe button so I know this is something you guys would like to see. Starting with the battery life on this ring, Ultrahuman states it can last up to 6 days, and I confirm this to be true. I used it for about 5.5 days before I needed to charge it. But when it comes to the charger, I do have a concern about it. My concern is that it gives off a LED light that doesn't go away. So if you sleep very close to your nightstand, then this may disturb your sleep, which is interesting for a ring that is meant to improve sleep. Now getting into the data, Ultrahuman promotes this ring as a sleep and recovery ring with fitness tracking capabilities. You'll be happy to know that there is no subscription fee to access its features, which is already making this ring more appealing to people than, let's say, the Oura ring. Opening the app, you can see a ton of data on the homepage since this is where you will live mostly. So starting with the movement score, this is where you have your calories burned, total steps, and clicking in, you can see your scores throughout the weeks, activity minutes, active hours, and workout frequency. Obviously, exercise is key to overall wellness, and I know I sleep much better when I'm active during the day. Next one you get is stress rhythm score, where the higher score means the better you are at regulating stress and how well you are in sync with your circadian rhythm. For those of you that don't know, your circadian rhythm is like your body's own clock. It tells you when to wake up, when to feel sleepy, and even when to eat. Just like how the sun rises in the morning and sets at night, your body follows a daily pattern to keep you feeling good and healthy. Diving further into your stress score, you get to see a stress timeline where you see how long you were stressed, stimulated, relaxed, or in sympathetic activation, aka fight or flight response. This is diagnosed by using your heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is the measurement of the time between heartbeats. This is used to measure how adaptable your body is to change and to be an indicator of your overall health and fitness. Studies say that a higher HRV, the better. Now, below that, you see a breakdown of these stages in the phases of your circadian rhythm. So if your stress levels are high just before bed, this could cause poor sleep and recovery. Now on to the main selling points of this ring, starting with the sleep index score, where higher scores show how well you slept. At the top, you get to see your total sleep, time in bed, percent of sleep that was restorative, and the time you hit your lowest heart rate drop. Below that, you see the contributors that add up to this overall score. First contributor being sleep efficiency, which measures how efficient you spent your time in bed. Were you on your phone all night or actually sleeping? Then temperature is measuring your skin temperature deviation, which is affected if you're sick, working out late, or eating foods late at night. You need to set a baseline first so the app knows your normal temperature. You simply do this by wearing the ring for a couple weeks. Then from there, the app can alert you if any significant changes occur. Then you get consistency, which is measured by the consistent sleep schedules in alignment with your circadian rhythm. Meaning if you sleep at random times every night, then your sleep can be negatively affected. Then total sleep is how much sleep you are actually getting. Is it 4 hours or is it a full 8 hours? You then have heart rate drop, which is a personal data point that I've been struggling with. Ultrahuman says this is affected by meal timing. Heavy meals before bed can slow down the time your heart rate drops, and also late night exercise, especially if you take pre-workout. Ultrahuman also says that the earlier your heart rate drops during sleep, the better your recovery is. This is probably because this indicates your deep sleep cycle, which is one of the most important stages of sleep. Then you have your timing score, which measures your ability to get to sleep early or at least in line with the body's circadian rhythm to get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Ultrahuman says to avoid late night blue light emissions and to reduce or eliminate screen time an hour before bed to help you go to bed on time. Finally, you have restoration time, which is how long you were in REM and deep sleep. Ultrahuman says magnesium supplementation, regular exercise, and avoiding devices late before bed can help with this. And to break down restoration time even further, we get sleep stages, so you can know how long you were at each stage and when you were in that stage. Ultrahuman says that awake is when you are in bed awake or times you go to the bathroom in the night. REM stands for rapid eye movement, and this is the sleep that is associated with memory and dreaming. You also sometimes can feel paralyzed in this state. Light sleep is the sleep where your body starts to slow down your heart rate and reduces your body's temperature. This is where I see my toss and turns mostly happen and when you can easily be woken. Then we get the all-important deep sleep, and this is where your muscles repair and grow, immune system strengthens, and where your breathing is at its slowest. Below that, you get to see when you were in those stages and how many sleep cycles were completed. You also get movements to see how many times you moved through the night. Then you get your heart rate and heart rate variability charts and timing. And then scrolling down, you get some really cool advanced sleep biomarkers. First one being morning alertness. For example, some days you just feel really groggy throughout the day, and some days you are very alert. Ultrahuman says that your morning alertness affects your ability to perform mental and physical tasks effectively, and that grogginess can be due to suddenly waking up from a deep sleep or simply due to not getting enough sleep. I also get how many times I toss and turn throughout the night, which Ultrahuman says can indicate a poor mattress, sleep disorders, or unsuitable sleeping conditions. And at the time of this video, they are in beta with average oxygen saturation, which is to help you understand if you have sleep apnea or other breathing disorders. And lastly, you get a chart of skin temperature changes throughout the night. Then back on the home page, you also get a sleep depth metric, which is actually an interesting data point because you could take a nap during the day or sleep longer at night to literally catch up on sleep. Now into its last scoring category, dynamic recovery. Ultrahuman says the recovery score shows your overall well-being, and this is made up of your sleep, heart rate, and exercise. The score is contributed by rest and heart rate, which is affected by stimulants like coffee and alcohol, your age, and also your cardiovascular health. Generally, a lower heart rate at rest implies more efficient heart function and better cardiovascular fitness. When I did a Google search, the Mayo Clinic states that adults typically average 60 to 100 beats per minute, and athletes with good cardio are closer to 40 beats per minute. Temperature again is also a contributor because this can be due to an illness or inflammation. I haven't been sick since using this ring, so I couldn't tell you the differences you would see here. Heart rate variability is also a contributor. Ultrahuman says that a higher HRV typically indicates a well-balanced and adaptable nervous system, reflecting the body's ability to efficiently manage stress and recover. This is also affected by your age, as someone in their 20s typically has a much higher HRV than somebody in their 50s. And to understand your baseline, Ultrahuman says that you may want to go to your doctor to determine where you are at. And then the last two are the sleep index and stress rhythm score we just reviewed that contribute into this dynamic recovery score. Then below that, it shows trends of heart rate variability, sleep heart rate variability, and resting heart rate. Then back in the homepage, you also get to see your 24/7 monitored heart rate. You also get cardio age to measure your cardiovascular fitness. And in this section, you get to see your time spent in training zones so you can work on improving your workout intensity and overall cardiovascular health. Then you see your VO2 max, which measures the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during exercise. You can see how your VO2 max, resting heart rate, and heart rate variability is doing for your age group. Ultrahuman says this is an important metric in reducing risk of heart disease, your ability to sustain an activity, and overall quality of life. And back again on the homepage, you get a quick snapshot of your skin temperature deviation, which again can signify sickness. You also have the ability to set SMART goals. You could choose from steps, active minutes, waking up early, sleeping for 8 hours, and so much more. You also get something called power plugs, and these are actually really cool. There are additional measurements you can add to your homepage, such as sun exposure to make sure you're getting enough vitamin D, screen time to track usage and timing, caffeine window, which is great for coffee and pre-workout drinkers so you guys aren't drinking caffeine late at night, and so much more. These power plugs then live at the very top of the homepage, and you could click into them to get more details. Then at the very bottom of the homepage, you have a timeline of activity and your ring battery life. Clicking into the battery life, you could switch to airplane or power saving mode. You could also locate your ring if you ever lose it. The homepage is really the only page you need to use, but there are other tabs on the app, such as metabolism. This is where if you have a glucose monitor, you can actually monitor your glucose levels. I don't have this, so I can't tell you much on how this works. On the zones tab, you can create groups to share your movement or metabolic score, or simply share your score via email. On the Discover tab, you can learn more about metabolic fitness, listen to podcasts, find workouts, meditation sessions, and sleep sounds and stories. And then on the last tab, you have your profile, where they do offer a membership, but this membership is not to use the ring or accumulate data. This is simply a membership to have better coverage for any damaged rings or loss of rings. You can also see your weekly ring insight, which tells you the metrics that you need the most improvement on and what metrics did improve or decrease. You also have the ability to connect apps to share data, such as Apple Health. Now let's discuss what activities I do recommend this ring for and what activities I don't recommend it for. Starting with recommendations to use this ring for. This is an amazing tool for sleep tracking. The amount of data you receive from this tiny device is insane, and the comfort of sleeping with the ring is unmatched compared to any other wearables. I also recommend this ring for anyone who likes to wear regular watches. This gives you the opportunity to still track sleep, steps, and more without sacrificing the style of a nice watch. Now for the activities I don't recommend this ring for. I do not recommend this, or any ring for this matter, for lifting weights. It does not feel comfortable lifting with a ring, especially when you're holding dumbbells or barbells, and this makes it more prone to scratches. I also wouldn't recommend this for running since there's no screen and it's hard to track your pace. And personally, I don't recommend it for swimming either, unless your ring is tight on your finger, because both the Ultrahuman Ring and even my wedding band get loose underwater. Overall, guys, the Ultrahuman Ring Air and app come with a ton of data, and they are always adding new things, so the time I upload this video, there might already be some new features. What I really like about this ring is it actually tells you exactly what to do to fix these issues. So personally, this ring has actually helped me with my sleep to become more consistent, and I am actually finding myself waking up earlier, even before my alarm goes off. It's not like this every single day, just because not every day is perfect, but I'm definitely getting more sleep and feel more energized in the morning. So I do think this ring is worth it for anyone who's struggling with sleep or just wants to understand how they're sleeping and how they can improve it even further. So if you guys want to see a comparison video with the ring, an Apple Watch, and a smart bed, then go ahead, let me know in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.